We are about to leave the city of Waterdeep, but before we do, there is a meeting that it's going to happen between Echo and the Emerald Enclave. And I want to go ahead and give a little bit of backstory here because I know that there are new viewers that were not here for our first module like 7 months ago. So the main bad guy of the first module we ran, the Sunless Citadel, was Belak, who was a druid that was growing a tree that was creating undead plant abominations, which these wonderful player characters have been dealing with ever since, even after defeating him. So, Echo, you were part of that fight, and as part of that, you took a weapon off of Belak, which has now been returned to the Emerald Enclave, and they gave some indication that perhaps Belak had once been among their number.
I can do it real quick. First campaign, we defeated an evil druid. In this campaign, we found out that maybe he has ties to the Emerald Enclave. It's why Echo set up for the meeting. That's what the rat was referring to. Echo's going to go now meet with the druids, and hopefully things go okay.
So yes, yeah. you head out to this grove.
Leaves the bag of holding
Yep.
back with Barnabas. I mean, Echo's going to come to this thing alone unless anybody wants to particularly join him.
Oh, Calder will definitely. Calder was also there. He wants to go. Like,
up to you.
I carried the sickle for a while. For like over a year, and I was and I also was there at the fight of Belak. I killed Belak. So
yeah.
I want to be there.
Yeah, Echo would invite anyone to come along that wants to, but like Echo specifically arranged this meeting so he can talk to the person. So Echo's going to kind of take the forefront in the conversation, but shows up to the grove just a little before midnight. Is it a big grove? Is there an obvious place where we're supposed to meet them?
Oh man, this is like the druidest grove you've ever seen. It's midnight. The moon is in just the right spot to illuminate this sort of clearing that you were led to. That is just like this pristine moonlight surrounded by trees. And you are supposed to step into the moonlight, and your meeting should arrive presently.
Right. Echo is armed, like he's wearing his daggers in their holsters, same with the swords on his belt. Like he's not drawing anything, they're like clipped into place, but he didn't show up completely unarmed.
Totally.
Steps in.
It's not particularly cozy, it's kind of cold.
Meh. It's not as cold as it is this time of year, never winter.
That's fair. So you step into the clearing, and it's a minute or so. You're like, is something supposed to happen? And then, very dramatically, a shadow passes over the moon. Have you seen The Secret of Nim?
Oh gosh, a long time ago, yes.
Okay, there is an owl in The Secret of Nim.
Oh god.
Yes, that scene
terrified me when I was a kid.
I would fast forward all the time.
A giant owl, giant enough to be like probably 6.5 feet tall, lands in the grove, his eyes glowing bright yellow like they're spotlights. It stands up and then dissolves into the form of a fairly withered old man.
Human?
You can't tell.
Humanoid? Medium
Humanoid,
size?
yes. But species is not immediately apparent.
Right. Echo waits a second. Sees if there's any more giant owls coming to join them.
Nope, just the one.
Clears his throat and says in common, you must be a member of the Enclave.
Yes. You should call me. And he kind of pauses for a second, makes some noises in his throat. Let's go with Vesper. It's the closest that I can get in common tongue.
Jasper, thank you for arranging this meeting. I knew it was a long shot when I gave Marlin that message, but I'm glad to see it got to someone.
The news of Belak's death was a relief to many.
How was Belak related to the Enclave?
He was once one of ours. He believed that the forest should fight back against humankind, or sapient kind. His ideas were extreme. He disappeared some
How many years
27
ago?
years ago.
So I have a very simple question for you.
He kind of leans forward.
Is the Enclave incompetent or evil? Because either you couldn't find him and stop him, or you didn't give a shit. And I'm not sure which is more damning.
The person hunches a little bit further and says, Belak eluded us, but he is a symptom of a larger problem. His death did not end the plague, did it?
The twig blights? The blights of all different kinds? No.
They preceded Belak's interference, and they succeed him after his death. He did not create the blight. He simply profited from it.
Echo kind of rolls his shoulders and looks back at Calder, but makes a it's okay kind of gesture and turns back and goes,
Calder will flick his cape in response as if that was a signal.
I think we're talking about different things here. I don't give a shit what weird druidic death on death blight magic Belak was doing. When he came to my people in the Sunless Citadel, we numbered more than 150. When he died, we were barely more than 30. He was in one place for 10 years and you couldn't find him? He eluded you? What is the Enclave? A bunch of druids that sit around thinking about doing things and not doing shit? Or only caring when things like blights happen and they don't care about murders?
Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick content warning, because there's some semi-abusive shit coming. You are very young. I would not expect you to understand such things.
This one did more to settle your Belak problem than the entirety of your order. Show some respect.
Nah. I don't want respect from him. I don't think it would mean much. But thank you for answering my questions. Oh, and the blight shit still happening? It's in the north. You know, northward, in case you needed fucking directions. And Echo's gonna walk away.
And you will hear the flap of wings at your back as you depart. And with that, friends, we will move on, after an excellent scene, to... Yeah, I know, right? But time marches on, and so must you. Give me a little bit about Calder at the end of this, though, because you bore witness to something epic and participated. What do you think?
Where did all this occur?
In the middle of the little clearing, right?
Yeah. It was very dramatic.
Where that guy was standing, Calder is will just incinerate a circle.
Excellent. I love it.
And we'll incinerate a circle, and will essentially as a message to the druids, fuck you.
Calder's making crop circles.
And then leaving not a minute behind.
Excellent.
And just leaving a minute behind Echo.
So,
and, Echo's, as soon as he turned around, he is crying, and he'll just cry as they walk back to the hotel.
Will not say it. The Calder will not make mention of it. Will not say a thing, but we'll walk lockstep alongside Echo.
And I guess they get packed and head out the next day.
The next day, after at least a half a night's sleep. Yes. What time is the party leaving Waterdeep?